Stinky holds a clean coal rally. But here's the thing. As the day gets longer, because he did this in the afternoon, he starts to conk out, you know? So he started talking about clean coal, and then he got into this dialogue about how he turned on some kind of valve the size of the room, and and he put out the wildfires in California. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. And that little background music there, that's the workers. They're finishing up the gazebo. I just stay out of their way because those dudes are tearing it up. So, without further ado, I'm going to play you these clips. And Stinky, that 80-year-old demented junkie, is losing it. Check this out. Roll it. Stinky goes on a spectrum tear. Roll it.
Germany was finished. They went to wind. The wind wasn't blowing too much.
Really?
And they went to all sorts of other things. You know, the Green New Scam hit Germany too. And guess what? Now they're back to coal.
Nonsense. Listen to this retard.
They're opening up coal plants all over Germany. We're the ones that aren't doing it.
Nonsense. You slack-jawed mouth breather.
I call it beautiful, clean coal. I told my people.
Beautiful, clean coal. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States. A functionally illiterate retard. Look. The dope is flailing, it's firing through the makeup. Look at it. See that? This is a junkie. Pathetic junkie.
I'll never use the word coal unless you put beautiful, clean before it.
You're an idiot. What you just said is the most insanely idiotic thing I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response are you anything close to what could be considered a rational thought, you pig.
Right, Doc?
You retard.
So we call it beautiful, clean coal.
Donald Trump then claimed.
Stinky.
Which way did it go, low way? Continue, Stinky.
In the first campaign where Hillary Clinton was about 4 states too early, and she was talking about how bad coal was and how they...
You're an idiot. What are you talking about? She was 4 states too early. What does that mean, you idiot?
They were going to teach coal miners how to make widgets and gadgets and technology, which they didn't want to do. They want to mine. One thing I learned about the coal miners, that's what they want to do. You could give them a penthouse on Fifth Avenue and a different kind of a job, and they'd be unhappy. They want to mine coal. That's what they...
What? Ew, Stinky. The grease in those ball bearings is fucking up, Stinky. You're gross.
love to do. And she was going to put them in a high-tech industry where you make little cell phones and things.
Little self-honger things? Look at this guy. What did I get myself into?
I don't know. You think he'd be good at that? I don't know.
What is it that you're talking about that he would be good or not good at?
Well, you don't want to be. And
oh yeah, no. They want to go in there. They want to go into coal mines and get black lung, you fucking retard.
it was brutal about 3 weeks before, but then she had a problem. She went to West Virginia looking for votes, and that was a...
What do you expect? It leaves the nation in toothlessness, number one. And number two, they also lead the nation in inbred and fentanyl, you fucking idiot.
Bad situation, you remember that, and there was a coal mine.
Here's a fun fact. Walmart recently closed there because they couldn't get any workers to pass a urine test. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's not a joke. And you know I'm always cutting up.
Yep, so while that was going
Stinky.
Listen to this 2-bit shakedown. you dumb motherfucker.
Lawyers, excellent. Have you noticed that lots of law firms have been signing up with Trump? $100 million, another $100 million for damages that they've done.
What damage did they? What are you talking about?
But they give you $100 million, and then they announce that. But we have done nothing wrong, and I agree, they've done nothing wrong.
Okay, all right. So you're basically saying that you're shaking these fucking cowards down, you fucking asshole.
What the hell? They give me a lot of money considering they've done.
Look, this guy knows it. He realizes it all. This is a fucking con man and a criminal.
Nothing wrong. And
Look.
Use some of those.
That guy hasn't laughed one time. He's dead serious. You're a fucking prick is what you are.
Well, some of those great firms, they are great firms too. They just had a bad moment. But
what do you mean they had a bad moment? What the fuck are you talking about? You goddamn criminal.
We're going to use some of those firms to work with you on your leasing and your other things, and they'll do a great job. I think they're going to do a fantastic job.
Bullshit. I hope they sabotage these motherfuckers. Look, this guy still ain't amused. Stinky, you're fucking up bad.
Stinky.
These are the ramblings of a demented, functionally illiterate, slack-jawed, mouth-breathing slob.
You will not be subject to the incredible blackout situation that's taking place in California with that.
Doesn't exist, you psychopath.
Blackouts all the time.
No, they don't, you psychopath.
It's an amazing thing with California. They have blackouts and brownouts at level.
No, they don't. The only person that has a brownout is you. On the regular, every 5 minutes, in those goddamn drapes you have that you call diapers.
That nobody's ever seen before. And all they want to do is keep going the way they're going.
What are you talking about? You just lost your train of thought, Stinky.
And they're doing a very poor job. As you probably heard, I released billions of gallons of water.
From your diaper. Look, see that guy? That guy's not buying anything, Stinky. You shouldn't have put that guy behind you.
Going in from upstate California, from the most northern parts of California, probably comes in from Canada.
Nah. Listen to this moron.
To a certain extent. Thank you very much, Canada. We appreciate it.
Canada didn't give you jack shit. Canada can't stand you, Stinky.
I mean, everything that.
This is from commerce to labor to FEMA.
Stinky.
You're still rambling, Stinky.
They do it, right? And we actually had to do some pretty strong things to get them to open it up.
To open up what?
They had, think of this, they had all that water pouring out right into the Pacific. They had a big valve, like a giant valve as big as this room. And they turned the valve. Takes 1 day to turn it.
Sort of like your butthole, right? You turn that valve and all of a sudden Niagara Falls just happens. Right to the back of your goddamn elevator shoes.
And they face it toward the Pacific Ocean and the water.
No, you face it towards Melania.
All that was coming down, all millions
Yeah, all that was coming down was motor oil, Stinky.
and millions of gallons coming down. They
Look, this guy's still pissed off, bro.
put it into the Pacific Ocean, which for the Pacific Ocean
Nonsense. This is all nonsense. This is the ramblings of an 80-year-old demented junkie.
is like a drop of water. But for California, it would have been unbelievable. So we did it. I'm very proud of the fact that we did it. We did that.
All you did was wasted their reservoir that they need for the summer, you fucking idiot. Not one drop of that goddamn water went to the fucking wildfires, you asshole.
And he continues to.
Thanks.
Donald Trump's brain is broken.
He's still rambling about the fake water.
Sprinkler systems in houses, a lot of these luxury houses where they had beautiful sprinkler systems, there was no water.
You're an idiot. So let's just say there was abundance of water. Do you think a goddamn sprinkler system in a house is going to save them from a wildfire, you moron? This press lady's stunned.
They have no water to put out the fires. Water is very good for putting out fires, you know. They just didn't learn it. But
They just didn't learn it.
Have millions of gallons, millions actually, they say, of gallons of water pouring into California from the Pacific Northwest, I guess they would say, mostly Pacific Northwest, but parts of the northern sections of California and beyond. And it's a beautiful thing to see. I saw a picture of it this morning. The water's just flowing down there. I said, why didn't they do this? I told them to do it. My first term, I said, do it.
What? That moment when you're struggling for something to say.
And
that's a fucking word salad.
I don't know. I think the second term is just more powerful.
What?
What are you, an effing moron?
Listen to Stinky. We have new technology. We have an innovation. We're going to be able to put coal in our clothes hampers so they smell better.
It's really beyond even coal. We have clean air, we have clean water, and now we have clean coal. And at the same time, we're gonna do other things and other forms of technology and also energy, like our country has never really seen before and never been known to do before. Because
what are you talking about? What are you talking about, you idiot?
All sorts of restrictions having to do with the Green New Scam.
What? Stinky, you nasty. Do you have flood insurance?
A catastrophe for the American dream and a dire crisis from commerce to labor to FEMA.
Stinky.
This idiot is retarded. It's what other word is there?
And we actually had to do some pretty strong things to get them to open it up. They had, think of this, they had all that water pouring out right into the Pacific. They had a big...
What are you talking about?
Valve, like a giant valve as big as this room. And they turned the valve, takes one day to turn it, and they face it toward the Pacific Ocean, and the water, all that was coming down, all millions and millions of gallons coming.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Cheer up. This dude's a moron.
Down, they put it into the Pacific Ocean, which for the Pacific Ocean is like a drop of water.
You're a moron. This dude actually thinks, right, that they subverted water, right, to the Pacific Ocean because he thinks that California thinks that there's not enough water in the ocean. This is a moron.
But for California, it would have been unbelievable. So
you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Oh, by the way, before I go, can you please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons, please? And if you want a cool t-shirt or maybe one of these, go to mockingmagamorons.com and check out the website. Got a lot of products there that you can show your disdain for this prick. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace.